Hello, everyone. Let's get to it. What did we say for the previous week? If you go back to my last YouTube video, you can see we called GJ perfectly. What did we say? We said we expect the 4 hour to come back and tap our previous structural point, which was previously broken. We saw huge rejections here. Price completely broke above, and we came back into this area with two 4 hour rejections before we lifted back to the upside. Amazing, right? And now it's about focusing on this week. What can we see? What are we looking for? Let's go to our higher time frames. So we said we saw a huge break above, and we said we may revisit this previous weekly high, which we did come back and tap into. We saw a rejection and price pump to the upside, right? So we can clearly see we're forming higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher high. Weekly is clearly bullish. There is no argument about it. We can see this candle's become a little bit smaller, so we can see that maybe we may start losing some momentum, right? Potentially, if we scroll out a little bit and we can actually forecast this next weekly candle, we can see around this area. I know this is very far back, but we have nowhere else to look. I can't really look. I can look here potentially, but we've already visited this area. In this realm, in this area, we only have this PA. And you have to remember, we need to use it because we have nothing else. And what happened in this area, we can clearly see when price came into this area, we saw a huge rejection to the upside. We went from 175 to 195, a huge 200 pip move. We saw when price came below this area, we had a nice tap into this area, we had an engulfing and momentum followed through, and we fell from 175 all the way down to 125, a 500 pip move. So guess what? If we come into this area, there's a very high probability we can see a wick into this area and potentially price may start to roll over. Or if the weekly clearly breaks this area, the following week we can look for some retests and look for buys up into 182, around 180.494. But we're not there yet. We need to see what happens this week. I also am aware, I like to understand the psychology of the market right now as well. We can clearly see that many long-term traders may have sold down to this area. So I am aware that there may be some open positions. I'm not a liquidity trader or anything like this, but I like to keep this at the back of my mind. I know that stop losses may be here. So when price may pinch above this prominent wick, right, we may pinch above and pop back below, right, to grab some liquidity before we do follow through to the downside, right? And that's when price visits that area. As of right now, I'm looking for buys until we reach that area. I'm going to be very cautious when we get to around the 175 key psychological area, right? Because even if you go back, we see rejection, and it's the way we rejected as well. We came and we had a strong impulsive move down, a huge nice engulfing. We came, we tapped, and we had a huge nice engulfing. It took two weekly candles for us to roll over. So maybe we may take two weekly candles to roll over here. Maybe we will pinch above and stay around this area, and the following week we'll roll over. Or we may cleanly break above and we can come back for that retest. Okay, now we understand the weekly time frame. Let's go down to the 3 day. The 3 day we can clearly see we are stepping up. We stepped up, step down, step up, step down, step up, step down, step up, step down, step up, step down. The step downs are getting smaller, right? So maybe momentum is starting to slow down. We also saw we had a wick to the downside, right? And we had another tap. We had a double bottom here. We had like triple bottoms here. We had a double bottom here. Guess what? I don't know where to buy, but potentially we can get a double bottom here and look for buys up into 175.11. Very simple trading, right? If you go on the daily time frame, what can we see? Sorry, I like asking these rhetorical questions because I'm kind of asking myself. So that's just the way I see the markets. So if you do think, why is this guy asking himself the question? There's no one replying to him. It's just the way I analyze the market. So we can see, right, when we saw a huge momentum breakthrough of 172.500, we stalled. We had two doji candles where we had some indecision. Price wicked to the downside and whipped into 172.500 and closed all the way back up above this intra-week support. So now we saw a bullish engulfing where we closed above the previous daily high and we continue to go up. But we can see this prominent wick where sellers prevented buyers from going up, right? And we respected this week. We closed below. The market just opened 4 minutes ago. I didn't even realize, right? And we closed below this area. So I can see we are losing momentum and we're respecting this wick. If the daily continues to maintain below this wick, I'm not going to look for sales because I am bullish overall. I will rather wait for buys. I will rather wait for price to come into my area of 173 or 172.500, and I will look for buys into 175.11. Will I buy around here? Not necessarily. I don't really want to buy in this area because we may be at a high, we may be at a higher high on the daily time frame. So I'm not looking for buys there. I would rather get in here. We may see us revisit these areas. If we don't, so be it. We will see how we can capitalize on potential sells in this area here. If we get the 4-hour rejections, if we get some 30-minute engulfings, potentially we can look for some sells. If you go on the 4-hour time frame, we can see this prominent wick I highlighted on the daily time frame. We had a huge 4-hour wick, and we respected this 4-hour. The 4-hour respected this area again, right? This zone is nice because we keep wicking into this area. So with all these wicks, do I want to buy around this area? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Right? Even if I see price close like that, I'm not interested in the retest because I know we can just pop back below, retest, and potentially swing to the downside. So I'm not looking for sells, and I'm going to protect my account from any unnecessary losses because this is not part of the plan. If you want to take an aggressive approach and you want to enter around here, so be it. Absolutely, you can, but that's at your own risk. So that is that. We can also see we are slowly stepping up on the 4-hour time frame, and we lost momentum as soon as we visited this prominent wick at 174.3. You can see that's the key psychological level around here. My key psychological levels are 172.500, 175, 180, 177.500. These nice quarterly levels I like because I know banks like to take money to these areas. Yeah, so if you go, what am I looking for? I am looking for price to potentially swing to the downside, give us a 4-hour rejection, and I will aggressively enter with my stops around below 172.4, and I will look for buys into 174.2 or 175.11, depending on how price reacts in this area. We are a reaction trader. We see what price does and we respond diligently, intelligently, whatever you like to call it. If the 4-hour closes below, you can definitely, if you get a nice strong engulfing, you can wait for that pullback and sell down, right? But I am aware of another area. It doesn't look too clear on the 4-hour time frame, so I am not thrilled to be entering at this area, but I'm going to keep it at the back of my mind, and that's this area right here, because we can see the daily nicely respected this area once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. We can also see that the 4-hour rejected, rejected again, popped below, popped back above, retested and pumped. So if 4-hour comes here and gives us a 4-hour wick rejection and we see some 30-minute engulfings, I may start looking for some buys. But I would rather enter here. You have to remember, right? Let's say I get a 4-hour rejection like this. Let's just say this happens here and I see a 30-minute engulfing and I get in and I put my stops around here. Let's just say I do that. Let's just say I do that. I see in the past we reached here from this area. I see in the past from this area we reached there. So my take profits are going to be around this area here, potentially for a 1 to 3 risk to reward, right? Or I can take it up into, we can see a potential further move up into 175. But I'm not going to be looking for buyers all the way up there. It doesn't make sense because previous PA has not told me this can happen. So I'm going to focus on past data. Let's just say I'm wrong and I get stopped out because price actually wanted to come into this area. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to flow back into the market. The best traders flow in and out of the market. So I'm going to flow back in. If I get a 4-hour rejection here with a 30-minute engulfing, I'm going to enter with my stops here. And now I will look for price to go into 175, right? I'm not going to let a loss phase me or affect me. Whether I'm trading on a funded account, a small account, it doesn't matter. The market does not care about what your account size is, what your emotions are, what your family problems are, how you're feeling. It doesn't care. So you need to make sure you're in a free flowing mind and you're really looking at the market with a sharp mind and full of clarity, right? So that's what GJ's there for me right now. Let's see what happens. Let's go to gold. I mainly trade GJ. This is my main pair, right? This is what the pair I like to focus on, but sometimes I do have a look at GA and gold. If you go onto gold, what can we see? We also got our GA market analysis right as well. If you go look, you can see for yourself. Let's look at gold. All right, so on the weekly time frame, what can we see? I don't know why I have the FXCM here. Let's go to Owanda, XAU USD. I don't know if you saw, but Owanda had some jam on TradingView, so that's why I took it away. As you can see, our zones were just perfect. Look at that. Tapped in, dropped. I did not get that entry. I don't know what that was. Oh, yes, I was looking for that entry, but we saw this jam on TradingView, so I did not get in. But this, I don't even think was a move. This is just shown on TradingView. But let's just get rid of this. What can we see? We can see in the weekly time frame, we're clearly bearish. No, we're bearish, right? We had a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, reversal, break of structure, break of structure. We've broken these lows and we've pinched back into this area. So we can clearly see in the weekly time frame, we're tapping into around 1969. We can also see we've clearly broken below this area and we've retested this area, right? But I'm also wary of this area as well. It's a bit tricky. Let's see what these timeframes tell us. Let's go on the 3-day. You can see on the 3-day we had an engulfing, we tapped in, and we continued this rollover. If you go on the daily time frame, we can see we're forming lower highs and lower lows, broke structure, form a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Can we look to roll over into 1900? As we can see in 1900, we rejected. 1900, we rejected. Price can come down into 1900. Absolutely. Absolutely. We can also see that price is potentially going to has closed below this area of resistance, closed below this area of support. So there is clear downside momentum right now. I shouldn't be looking for some buys right now simply because the daily is bullish, the bearish, the weekly is bearish, and we've seen a nice engulfing where we closed above the previous 2-day lows. I'm wary of this little wick because price may respect this wick and pull back into this area before rolling over. We shall see. We shall see. If you go on the 4-hour time frame, we can clearly see price came into this area, rejected, came into this area, rejected, came into this area, rejected. So what I want to do is just focus on this area right here. What is going on, right? We can see on the weekly time frame. I would like to adjust this into here because price respected this area, momentum came into here, price respected this area, momentum came in, price respected this area, momentum came in. So I'm going to adjust my weekly according to what I see on the lower time frames as well, where it makes sense. I don't want to be selling here. I want to wait for a pullback. You can either wait for another pullback into this area and wait for a 4-hour rejection. Do I see that happening? Not really. I see price potentially rejecting this area right here, giving us a pullback before rolling over into 1900. Or if I zoom out a little bit, I could just put this around there. We see when price came into this area, we rolled over. When price came into this area, we pumped up, we pumped up, we pumped up, we pumped up. Can we retrace here and pull down into 1900? If we do, great. If we get some rejections, great. I'm going to enter aggressively. That's gold, done. GBP AUD. Let's see what happens with gold. If you're thinking, when do I buy? I will only buy above this area of 1978. If we can break this area and retest, I can start looking for buyers into 2005. GBP AUD, this played out so nicely, right? If you look at my previously weekly outlook, you can see what happened. We can see when price came into this area, we pumped up, we rejected, we left a nice wick to the upside. Do I want to buy? No, I don't want to buy because we're below this area. We've had a huge wick to the upside. Yes, we're bullish on all time frames, but the way PA is right now and where we visited, I feel like we've reached our highs. I may be wrong, but that's fine. I'm not looking to enter. GJ looks a lot better for buys than GA right now, right? Well, not right now, but just for our specified zones. Based off this, we had a huge rejection, and this shows us lots of money left the market. in this area and money came back into the market, right? What do I see happening? I saw when price came into this area, we rolled over, and I'm expecting some sort of rollover. Well, do we come all the way back down here? I'm not sure. But what I do know is I can look at my next area. We can see we closed above this area. We had this little pullback and momentum followed through. So this is a nice prominent area, right? And also we can see we tapped into this area twice, 3 times, 4 times before momentum kicked in. But guess what? We just got slapped back down below 1.9. As you can see, we're situated below 1.9. That's a nice little area for us to look at. So let's go to 1.9. 1.9 is a key round psychological level and it's something. All we're doing right now is just building confluences and understanding PA. Let's get to 1.9. Can 1.9 line up with any of these nicely? Yes, I think so. 1.9 lines up nicely, right? 1.9. Perfect. 1.9 drop. 1.9 drop. 1.9 rejection. Came above, came back below, retested, dropped, tap, drop, came below, retest, drop. It's as simple as that. We've broken structure on the daily time frame. We've broken structure on the 4-hour time frame. Pull back for me here. Retest this prominent wick. We are looking for beautiful sells down into 186.5. It's as simple as that. Boom. Thank you very much. I hope you all got some value from this video, and we will see how accurate we are on our next weekly outlook. Thank you very much. I would really appreciate if everyone could like and subscribe and help grow this channel. I'm not a big channel, so please don't think that just because I'm not a big channel, I don't know how to read the markets. I hope you're seeing every single week we're calling these trades nicely. We're calling what the market's going to do. Sometimes we have to adapt and sometimes we're wrong, which is fine, but it's all about adapting and having a flexible mindset. So thank you very much, and I hope you all have a great, successful trading week. If you don't, it's fine. Come back next week, reevaluate, learn what went well, what went wrong, what your emotions were like, document your trades, document your emotions, and come back the next week to be better, right? That's all you can do. So don't beat yourself up too much. If it was easy, everyone would do it. If it was easy, every single person would be successful in trading, but they're not, right? Because not many people are willing to play the long game. So I want you all to stay consistent, stay focused, and keep growing, keep learning, and yeah, that's all. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself. Peace.